driver's cart. Wedge carts are built for speed, tuned for fun, and made to move. Every frame is hand-built, no shortcuts. Own the track. Visit wedgecarts.com.
Every lap, every race, every bit of paint traded for every hard-fought place. Every checkered flag and trophy raised. Every ounce of dirt, sweat, and gears. They're all jammed inside every can of NOS Energy. Go ahead, open up a can.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
Honest Abe Roofing is America's favorite roofing company.
They took the time to discuss all of our needs.
I couldn't be happier with my new roof.
The best part? They came in under budget.
Honest Abe Roofing helped us with their easy payment solutions, and now we can make low payments on the roof that we actually wanted.
I guarantee you'll get the best price for your roof. That's what my ironclad lowest investment guarantee is all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series champion, David Gravel.
Get all your official David Gravel merchandise at track or online at shopdgr.com.
built to win, not for show. Wedge carts are hand-built, American-made, and purpose-built for dirt. No fluff, just pure stock class performance. Get the Wedge Edge at wedgecarts.com.
Dirt, grit, grime. Your truck, your toys, your weekend warriors. They take a beating and bring the dirt. Land that brings unstoppable cleaning power built to conquer any grime from the track to your garage. Built for the relentless, built for the outlaws. Clean what matters. Be Lambda tough.
It's ARP Fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family-owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
Wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I'm faster than you. Yeah, well, I'm gnarlier than you. I get more sideways. I'm louder. Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder.
Slicker.
Cooler. Tougher. Let's go.
So what you got?
DIRTVision presents World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the pinnacle of dirt track racing. Featuring sprint car racing's best drivers, biggest races.
David Travel is the King's Royal Champion. Slide up in front of Cowboy, and at the line, Cowboy gets the win.
And best coverage.
Welcome back to the greatest show on dirt. You wanted the best. You got them for abreast.
DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
The saying goes, sometimes all good things must come to an end. And even though change can be scary, sometimes it leads to better things on the other side. There's a look at the now 2-car team. Big-A Motorsports World of Outlaws champion David Gravel, flanked by the number 15 of Donny Schatz. That is the car he will drive for the next 7 races starting tonight here in Ogilvie, Minnesota. Welcoming everyone to the Big-O Showdown featuring the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. My name is Connor Wade. Great night of racing on tap here at Ogilvie Raceway Raceway, the third race here in series history. Tonight, a lot of storylines since the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series last competed in the Knoxville Nationals last week. The news, well, it got started on Tuesday when Tony Stewart Racing announced that it had released Donny Schatz after a marriage of nearly 18 seasons. It resulted in 8 Outlaw championships and hundreds of trips to victory lane. That left the 10-time series champion Donny Schatz trying to figure out where he would end the 2025 season. The answer for the next 7 races is Big Day Motorsports, as he and Todd Quering have come together and now formed a sprint car racing super team, as Donny Schatz will race alongside the defending World of Outlaws NOS Energy and Sprint Car Series champion in David Gravel. Schatz debuts for Big Day Motorsports here tonight, the first time he's driven anything other than a Tony Stewart Racing sprint car since 2007. Just moments ago back in the pit area, Donny Schatz with his first on-camera interview since all the happenings this week, looking forward to some time spent with a championship-winning team.
Man, this came together, late Wednesday night. I'm not going to deny I was pretty shocked to, the commitment I've made to where I was at for all this time and to kind of have everything upended in the way it did. What became most important to me was I'm going home. We're going to race around home, place I cut my teeth, all these places, the fans. And I think that's just what set out in my mind right away is I got to figure out how to get these 3 weeks, these 7 races around home. And Cody and Todd and all the guys at Big Game put this together and said, I think we can do this for a short period of time. And these guys obviously have a real solid program. Their engines obviously run, they get qualified. Does that mean that this is just going to be a magic act? No, it doesn't mean that. Sitting in the car, obviously I got pretty comfortable, but everything feels a little different. Here and there, you get used to things over time. I'm used to sitting a certain way and moving your feet a certain way and brakes a certain way. So there's obviously a little bit of a transition. So all we can do is go out and see what the result is and try to adjust from there. Todd and me have been friends a long time. There's been talk, we've tossed it around forever, but it's not like it was something that was reality. It was, almost like a drinking story when it come about. So, but here we are. My goal is to finish the Outlaw season in its entirety. For the first time in 28 years, I'm standing here, a 10-time champion, won hundreds of races, and we going, how am I going to finish the year out gracefully? And I'll figure that out after we get through this weekend and next week and see what happens. Obviously, there's opportunities, but I'm not the guy that wants to just put my seat in that car and then next week put my seat in that car. It's not how I was brought up. It's not who I am. So, obviously, I gotta do some things and make some decisions, and we'll just see what happens. I can't make any promises, but right now, to meet my own goals is get through these next 7 races through the Husets and Jackson, Fargo, Grand Forks, and see what happens from there.
Now, with this move for the 10-time series champion comes a lot of changes and some unfamiliarity for 10-time. Of course, Cody Jacobs, David Gravel's crew chief, is going to oversee the operation with this Big Day Motorsports 15 car. However, the crew chief title will belong to Brad Alexander. Alexander, the former crew chief on the Crouch Motorsports number 11 when Buddy Kofoid drove it. Alexander also worked as the car chief for Tony Stewart Racing with Donny Schatz in 2020. But for Donny Schatz, it's his first time driving a Maxim chassis since the late 1990s. His first time ever with a Morrison engine under the hood. They've been pretty good for David Gravel and the Big Game team the last couple seasons. Now, it's 7 scheduled races as of now for Big Game and Donny Schatz, which runs through Husets on August 31st. So as of now, this just for the month of August. The future beyond that, unknown at this time for both Donny Schatz and Big Game Motorsports. But this storyline dominating the headlines in sprint car racing all week long, and it's going to take some getting used to seeing Donny Schatz out there in an orange and black number 15. But Schatz looking to override the struggles he's had in 2025 and get his first win of the season here tonight in his first race with the new team. Now, not only is Donny Schatz ecstatic to join Big Day Motorsports, but Todd Quering, a very passionate race fan, pretty good businessman as well, he's excited to bring in longtime friend Donny Schatz into this Big Day Motorsports operation and add to the talents that championship-winning team already had. I had a great conversation yesterday with Todd Quering. You can watch it in its entirety on social media, but here's a clip from that. Todd explaining how the deal went down. It might be a little bit of a different story than what you were expecting.
I was talking to Donny, and he said, Todd, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And I said, do what? And he said, put this car together for me. And I said, what, I didn't know what you're talking about. I didn't. And so then Cody and Taylor were together. And so they called me and they said, Todd, here's the deal. We got everything put together. We got the crew guys. We got everything. We know we have the equipment. Can you sign off on it? So that's all they asked me. So they had it all put together with Donnie already. So I didn't even do it. Logistically, the next 7 races are, very close to our shop. And our guys are, obviously work to put it together. But, this is not going to be a distraction to our 2 car with David, anything like that. This is more just to, this is Donnie's grassroots in this whole area. I own 2 of the racetracks that he grew up at and raced. And, this week is the next, actually 3 weeks is a big 3 weeks for him, that he can race around all his family and friends and everything. And, it's more of a, we have good equipment, we have a lot of stuff, and, it was fairly simple for us to put this together. Donnie's a veteran, clean driver, takes care of equipment, and absolutely, I think he can still win races. And when you put together a deal like this, nothing's perfect. So, it's going to be like, it's not like he's going to be able to mesh in, but I think our equipment, might fit his style of driving, and the way he likes to drive and that type of thing. So we'll just see what happens. It'll be a fun deal for 7 races and looking forward to it.
Now, Big Game Motorsports has had 2-car teams before, but the last time I can remember a 2-car team on the Outlaw Tour of this magnitude was, whenever Donny Schatz was teammates with Steve Kinzer. But he and David Gravel being teammates, hard to get any better than that if you're Todd Quering and Big Game Motorsports. Over 400 Outlaw wins between the two. 11 total championships between Donnie's 10 and David Gravel's championship from last season. And of course, both of the former Outlaw champions on tour full time are now a part of Big Game Motorsports. So looking forward to seeing how this new partnership fares here in the next couple of weeks. Those 7 upcoming races that will definitely see Donny Schatz in that Big Game 15. Now, when Tony Stewart Racing announced that they had released Donny Schatz, they immediately named their driver for the rest of the Outlaw Tour in 2025. And it's a familiar face if you follow this series for a long time. It's the Australian Kerry Madsen. Now, Madsen actually spent 2021, a good part of 2021, with Tony Stewart Racing in the number 14 car, back when they were still developing the Ford motor. And you look at the numbers that they put up, pretty dang good. 37 starts, 6 wins, only outside the top 10 on 8 occasions. They qualified very well, 6 quick times in those 37 races, along with the wins. 3 of those wins were in Outlaw races. So Kerry Madsen coming back to a place that to him feels like home for the Australian.
Obviously a big week, bit of a shock, but obviously excited for the opportunity coming up for the rest of the year, and looking forward to the challenge. It's middle of August, so you definitely lose that little time you get at the start of the year to get together, but it's a first-class operation. That's why I'm so excited to be back. So worked with Todd before, so I've got a good bit of confidence. We'll find some speed pretty early. I've actually got a hard card now to get in, so that's kind of fun, and there's just something about that. But no, definitely World of Outlaws. It's the number 1 series on the planet for sprint cars. So to know what the rest of the season looks like back with the World of Outlaws is a great feeling.
So Kerry Madsen will be in the Tony Stewart Racing number 15 for the remainder of the Outlaw season in 2025, with the exception of next weekend, the 2 events at River City Speedway and Red River Valley Speedway, as he will go back to Knoxville to complete that season. Tony Stewart Racing will name an interim driver for those 2 events sometime next week, but looking forward to seeing what Kerry can do. Remember that he's been in the conversation to win Outlaw races this season, has just needed some luck on his side, and 2 of his Outlaw wins in the TSR 14 back in 21, those were at Jackson Motorplex, with the series races tomorrow night. So the series, obviously with a lot of changes after the Knoxville Nationals, which dominated the headlines last week. A great 4 days at the sprint car capital of the world, and one of the most exciting Knoxville Nationals ever that ended with a young surprise winner going to victory lane and the granddaddy of them all. Here's the highlights.
They go side by side into turn 1. down low. Ryan Timms will lead out of the second corner with Carson Macedo second. The battle for the third spot goes side by side. On the inside of the speedway, Corey Day will have it in the 14 BC.
Brad Sweet in the fourth spot as they work off to turn number 4. Logan Schuhart in fifth as the battle for the lead heats up in turn number 2.
Day low to enter, gets to the top, but Carson Macedo is there. Macedo will maintain the second spot as they complete lap 14.
And Logan Schuhart to the inside of Corey Day in turn number 1. He'll take the spot. He'll set his sights on Carson Macedo. Rico right behind them. He'll look to the inside of Sheldon in 3 and 4 now. Rico Abreu trying to make a move on Sheldon Hodenshield.
Abreu able to make the pass down low out of turn 4, move Rico up into the 6th spot. Abreu very good on the bottom of the speedway, grabs the moisture low out of corner number 2 and puts the 49 back to 6th. Rico Abreu now into the top 5. Now Schuhart to the inside of Corey Day, move Logan Schuhart into that 3rd spot, and coming with him will be Rico Abreu, but not before they get back to the line on the caution flag waves for our halfway break.
Timms to the bottom at turn number 1. Carson Macedo to the top. Corey Day looks to the middle. Down the back straightaway, Ryan Timms trying to extend his lead right out of the gate as they come around here for the first lap after the fuel stop.
Rico Abreu challenging Logan Schuhart, who gets over the cushion, bounces off the wall, gathers it back in, but Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson able to get by as well.
Larson running 6 side by side just ahead of them. Oh boy, way out of shape is Corey Day as Rico Abreu goes to the inside.
Oh, trouble car sideways.
Right in front of your leader.
Wow.
Ryan Timms gets a good start, so does Carson Macedo, though, around the top side, down the back straightaway. Rico tried to make something happen there on the restart. He'll settle into the 3rd spot, now closing in on Carson Macedo for 2nd. Kyle Larson makes it 3 wide in turn number 1, down the back straightaway. Now he'll slip back 2 spots as Sheldon Hodenshield looks to the inside of Gio Scelzi for 6th. In turn number 4 will soon be a 3 wide battle down the front straightaway. They go 3 wide as they enter turn number 1.
David Gravel by Sheldon Hodenshield, and now setting his sights on Giovanni Scelzi. Scelzi low, David Gravel on the cushion. Gravel's got to run out of turn number 2, move David Gravel up to 6th from the 21st starting position.
Kyle Larson slowing as they come off of turn number 4.
The right rear tire is gone on the Silva Motorsports number 57. We come back to green. Timms pulls away from the rest of the field. Rico Abreu look to the inside of Carson Macedo. David Gravel to the inside of Corey Day. Side by side for 2nd down the back straightaway. Abreu unable to get by the 41. Here comes David Gravel on the top.
Gravel in the 4th spot as they work off of turn number 4. Down the front chute, a 3-car battle with Corey Day. Carson Macedo shuts the door on him. They nearly go 3 wide into 2.
Rico Abreu to the inside of Carson Macedo for 2nd. David Gravel gets by Corey Day for 4th.
Down the back straightaway, he picked up his first Knoxville feature win this season. He's won 5 times, and in his rookie attempt, Ryan Timms will win the Knoxville Nationals.
Ryan Timms etches his name in the history books, forever a winner of the Knoxville Nationals. Ryan Timms not with us tonight, however, will be in action with the series tomorrow night at the Jackson Motorplex. It was a very good Knoxville Nationals for several full-time drivers with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. David Gravel with that incredible charge from 21st to 3rd. Carson Macedo 4th, Logan Schuhart 5th. How about Garrett Williamson cracking the top 10 in 8th? Sheldon Hodenshield with a very good 10th place finish. 81 degrees, some standard showers in the area, so we're going to expedite our program tonight to try to get it in for this sold-out crowd at Ogilvie as quick as possible. Hot laps in just a few moments. Want to bring in the Hall of Fame voice of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, John Gibson. And John, let's kick things off talking about the elephant in the room, Donny Schatz in this new ride. And we heard Todd Quering mention how Cody Jacobs was kind of the ringleader in getting Donny to that car for the next 7 races. Picture this. Cody Jacobs has spent pretty much his entire career as a crew chief trying to beat Donny Schatz. But when Donny needs a ride, Cody Jacobs is the first person to step up and try and get him one. I think that says a lot about the respect that Donny Schatz has in this pit area.
It certainly says a lot about not only the respect, but the fact that talent recognizes talent. Cody Jacobs has become a top-tier crew chief with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. And, of course, Donny Schatz certainly has not forgotten how to drive a sprint car over the course of a season or season and a half. So I think that pairing could work very well for those two. And, you know, sometimes it happens happens where a split is good for both sides. Maybe Donny finds the mojo that he's been lacking at Tony Stewart Kerr Baggaginian Racing, and maybe a new driver in the cockpit will bring that team back up to speed as well. So looking forward to what goes on over the course of the next 7 races for now, and where we go from there as far as Donny Schatz is concerned. But again, Donny and I started our careers the same year, his rookie year with the World of Outlaws, my first year as the series announcer back in 1997, and to see where Donny has ended up now, scrambling for rides, but I think when it's all said and done, he's going to come out on the high side of this thing. As we talk about Donny Schatz, we get set to roll the first of 3 Wedge High Performance Karts practice sessions on the Ogilvie Raceway. And the driver pushing off now, car number 74, and that is Luke Nellis. Nellis out of Forest Lake, Minnesota, the Anderson & Cook Ford, Twin City Powder Coating, JBL Buildings, McCarran's Building Supply entry. From Pengrove, California, the Toyota Racing Development, Mobile One, Roth Motorsports, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, number 83 of Buddy Kofoid. From Hanover, Pennsylvania, the Trident Duramax C&D Rigging, Federated Auto Parts Shark Racing, number 1S, that's Logan Schuhart. And a World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender out of Bradenton, Florida, in the Tub of Towels, Emily Oil, USA, Steel Fence, Autoloads.com, number 28, M. Connor Morrell. World of Outlaws Rookie contender from Canton, Illinois, the NOS Energy Drink, King Racing Products, Jim Shooknecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, number 7S, Chris Wyndham. And from Lemoore, California, behind the wheel of the all-by-your alternative MVT, Tarleton & Sons, Sage Family, Scott Boyd Family, Complete Parts and Equipment Solutions, number 41, Carson Macedo. From Sanssouci, New South Wales, Australia, the Protofab Engineering, Mystic Lubricants, Fratellone Companies, Cornerstone Motors, number 14, of Brooke Tatnall. And the defending World of Outlaws champion, the current series points leader from Watertown, Connecticut, the ShopHouston.com, Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Prosper Real Estate Investments, JRC Transportation, number 2 of David Gravel. And making his World of Outlaws debut this evening from Princeton, Minnesota, the CJS Framing, IB Hall, and Wall-to-Wall Painting, Crown Support Inc., number 4S of Jeremy Snow. First Wedge High Performance Karts practice session of the Big-O Showdown at Ogilvie Raceway. Start the show! Green flag conditions on the speedway for practice session at number 1, brought to you by Wedge High Performance Karts. Lap times in the upper 14-second bracket, now quickly down into the 13s. Low 13s now by Brooke Tatnall, Luke Nelson 13-1, and David Gravel first into the 12s at a 12.399. Buddy Kofoid just behind him at a 12.472. Connor Morrell 12.524. Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 1 is complete. Fastest driver in that group, Logan Schuhart, in car number 1S. A time of 12.355 seconds at an average speed of 103.731 miles per hour. David Gravel second quickest at a 12.399. Connor Morrell third. Buddy Kofoid fourth. And Chris Wyndham rounding out the top 5 in practice speeds in Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 1. Cars making their way into the infield. That is where they will stage for this evening's Honest Abe Roofing qualifying session. So lap times a little over a half a second off of track record pace in Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 1. track record here at Ogilvie Raceway is set in 2023 by Carson Macedo at 11.743 seconds. Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 2 on the Speedway. Rookie contender out of Columbia, Missouri, the SNS Nationwide CSC Group LRI Eagle Stop Missouri Games Impact Signs Abbott Telecom number 23 of Garrett Williamson. Getting underway now in car number 33, the Brody Racing Engines, GRP Motorsports, Angler Machine and Tool, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels entry. Driver out of Lonsdale, Minnesota is Scott Brody. And from Heartland, Wisconsin, in the Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup Honest Abe Roofing, GT Transport, Kevin and Lynette Tronjo, number 17B, the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. From St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the Advanced Auto Parts Curb Martin One Source, number 15, the Madman, Kerry Madsen. And making his World of Outlaws debut tonight from Watertown, South Dakota, in the Soil Works, Woody's Manufacturing, Lund Labs and Kennels, R Organic Farms, number 18T, Tyler Rabenberg. From St. Cloud, Minnesota, in the Trobex Bus Service, Auto Value Parts Stores, GT Transport, John Jones Group Digital Marketing, number 91, Reed Alex. And from Franklin, Indiana, piloting Logan Contractor Supply, Ted's Body Shop, Team Excavating, BSM Enterprises, number 18, it's Emerson Axum. Another World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender from Indianapolis, Indiana, drives the C&D Rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Glenn Stires Racing, Steve Butler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6, Zach Hampton. Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 2, rolling around Ogilvie Raceway with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Green flag in the air for Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 2. Garrett Williamson at 12.8, Bill Baylog to the top of the speed chart at a 12.327. Emerson Axum up to 6th, and now Kerry Madsen second behind Baylog at a 12.336. Baylog goes faster at a 12.312. Fastest driver in that Wedge High Performance Karts practice session. Quickest overall now in warm-ups in the 17B, Bill Baylog at 12.312 seconds, 104.094 miles per hour. Kerry Madsen second quickest at a 12.336. Logan Schuhart third at a 12.355. Zach Hampton and David Gravel round out the top 5 as the final Wedge High Performance Karts practice session rolls into staging on the front stretch. They are led onto the speedway by car number 17, the NOS Energy Drink West Tennessee Expediting Frozen Farmer Maximal Oil entry. The driver out of Worcester, Ohio is Sheldon Hodenshield. Alongside Hodenshield from Sanborn, Minnesota, driving the Trom Farms, Joel Pingen Trucking, Creek Area, Anderson Farms, Golden Harvest Engine, number 24T, Christopher Trom. And on the outside of that front row, the Rookie of the Year contender out of Lemoore, California, in the 2C Racing Outlaw Wings, Durst Wedge High Performance Karts, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 2C, Cole Macedo. From Benton, Arkansas, in the J.B. Henderson Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, Miller Bonded, MPV Logistics, number 45X, Landon Crawley. And another World of Outlaws rookie contender from Sikeston, Missouri, driving the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Logan Contractor Supply, Zip Bond, Smoker's Choice Cigar Bar, Inland Rigging, number 55, Hunter Schurenberg. From East Grand Forks, Minnesota, the Proceed Ekman Dental Arts, JW Repair, Phil Thompson Associates, AgServe, G5, Gage, Polk, Quebec. And another World of Outlaws rookie contender from Leduc, Alberta, Canada. The Warrior Building Development Building Packages Direct Nelson Brothers Construction Pack Rat Dumpsters, number 99 of Skylar G. And from Fargo, North Dakota, driving the shop, Houston's.com, Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Octane Inc., Prosper Real Estate Investments, number 15, Donny Schatz. Final Wedge High Performance Karts practice session of the evening. Sheldon Hodenshield now fastest in warm-ups at 12:277. Hunter Schurenberg second. Now Landon Crawley takes the second spot. Gage Polkrebeck now quickest at a 12:270. Sheldon Hodenshield back to the top at a 12:157. Hunter Schurenberg right behind him. Landon Crawley up to second now at a 12:159. That will wrap up Wedge High Performance Karts practice session number 3. Fastest driver in that group and quickest overall in warm-ups this evening in the number 17, Sheldon Hodenshield. Sheldon's lap time, 12.157 seconds at 105.421 miles per hour. Landon Crawley second quickest at a 12.159. Hunter Schurenberg third. Gage Polkrebeck fourth, and Donny Schatz rounding out the top 5, followed by Bill Baylog in the 6th spot, Kerry Madsen 7th, Logan Schuhart 8th, Zach Hampton 9th, and David Gravel completing the top 10 as we get set now for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, which tonight will feature 2 cars at a time on the speedway, 2 consecutive laps on the clock. Faster of those 2 laps scored as that driver's official qualifying time. For tonight's race program, we use the Honest Abe Roofing qualifying times to line up our heat races here tonight. Qualifying order determined by random draw as the drivers registered for the race program earlier this afternoon. For World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series timing and scoring purposes, we measure the Ogilvie Raceway at slightly less than 3/8 of a mile in distance, 0.356 miles to be exact, and that measurement is made at the midpoint between the inside berm and the outside retaining wall. And again, that track record, 11.743 seconds, set by Carson Macedo, June 3rd of 2023. That's an average speed of 109.137 miles per hour. Set to roll the first 2 Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers on to the speedway. From Forest Lake, Minnesota, the Anderson and Cook Ford Twin City Powder Coating, JBL Buildings, McCarran's Building Supply number 74, and Luke Nellis. And joining him from Canton, Illinois, the NOS Energy Drink King Racing Products, Jim Shooknecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, number 7S, Chris Wyndham. Luke Nellis, 74, and Chris Wyndham in 7S. Wyndham makes his Ogilvie Raceway debut this evening. Nellis 9th in last year's Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Lap 1 for Luke Nellis, 12.698, 1.2698. First time around for Wyndham, quick time at a 12.250, 1.2250. Second lap time for Luke Nellis improves at the 12.665, 1.2665. Wyndham better as well on lap number 2 at a 12.239, 1.2239. Chris Wyndham fastest in the opening pair of Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers. Things getting a little bit tight in the infield, so we'll have a single Honest Abe Roofing qualifier out next from Hanover, Pennsylvania, driving Duramax C&D Rigging Federated Auto Parts Shark Racing number 1S. It's Logan Schuhart. Logan Schuhart in car number 1S. Logan Schuhart finished 7th here last year, 2nd in 2023. His best in World of Outlaws action here. Lap 1 for Schuhart is quick time, 12. 12.09212.092 for the driver who sits fourth in the World of Outlaws point standings with 2 victories on the season. Second lap time for Schuchart. Faster at a 12.081 Logan Schuchart now fastest in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Leading the next drivers onto the speedway from Princeton, Minnesota, driving the CJS Framing, IB Holland, Wall-to-Wall Painting, Ground Support Inc. Number 4S, it's Jeremy Snow. Jeremy Snow in car number 4S making his World of Outlaws debut here tonight. Snow a second place finisher here in micro sprint action back in 2022. 6 410 sprint car races this season, best finish 18th on 2 occasions. Lap 1 for Jeremy Snow is a 13.06413.064. A 7th place finish in 305 action at Viking Speedway, his overall best this season. Second lap is a 13.171. First lap official for Jeremy Snow at a 13.064. Back to 2 at a time in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, leading the next pair out from Bradenton, Florida. The Tub of Tiles, Amalie Oil, USA Steel Fence, Autoloads.com, number 28M, it's Connor Morell. And joining him from Sans Souci, New South Wales, Australia, the Protofab Engineering, Mystic Lubricants, Prattle & Company's Cornerstone Motors, number 14 of Brooke Tatnall. Connor Morell and 28M, Brooke Tatnall in the number 14. Tatnall 19th here last year, 15th 2 years ago in World of Outlaws action. 2021 360 winner here. Lap 1 for Morell, second quick, 12.126, 12126. Brooke Tatnall's first lap, fourth quick at a 12.487, 12487. Second lap for Connor Morell, faster at a 12.081, a duplicate time with Logan Schuchart, 12.081. Tatnall's second lap, 12.449. Connor Morell equaling Logan Schuchart's 12.081. When we have a tie, we use the non-tied lap to break that tie. So Logan Schuchart so far at the top of the Honest Abe Roofing qualifying order. Next pair from Pen Grove, California, the Toyota Race Development, Mobile One, Roth Motorsports, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, number 83, Buddy Copeland, and the track record holder from Lemoore, California, the all-by-your alternative MVT, Tarleton & Son, Sage Family, Scott Boyd Family, Complete Parts and Equipment Solutions, number 41, Carson Macedo. Buddy Cope Ford on lap 1, a third quick 12.203, 122.03. Carson Macedo's opening lap time, quick time at a 12.016, 120.16. Cope Floyd's second lap better, 12.097, 120.97. And for Carson Macedo, his second lap, 11.969, 11969. Carson Macedo into the 11-second bracket at 107.077 miles per hour. Next 2 drivers on the speedway, the defending champion from Watertown, Connecticut, ShopHoustons.com, Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Prosper Real Estate Investments, JRC Transportation, number 2 of David Gravel. And from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the Advanced Auto Parts, Curb Martin, One Source, number 15, the Madman, Kerry Madsen. David Gravel in 2, Kerry Madsen in 15. Lap number 1 for Gravel, quick time, 11.896, 11896. Madsen's opening lap is a 12.140, 12140. Second time around for David Gravel is 11.901. First lap better at 11.896. Second time by for Madsen is a 12.147. He'll stand on the first lap time with 12.140. Next 2 drivers to make their way out from Indianapolis, Indiana, the C&D Rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Glenn Stires Racing, Steve Butler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6 of Zach Hampton. And along with him, the Alaskan native who now calls Hartman, Wisconsin home, the Andersons Pure Maple Syrup, Honest Abe Roofing, GT Transport, Kevin and Lynette Tronjo, number 17B, the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. Zach Hampton in the 6th, making his Ogilvie Raceway debut. Baylog finished 9th last year. Opening lap for Hampton, 12.195, 12195. First time by for Baylog is a 12.130, 12130. Zach Hampton, lap 2, third quick at a 12.058, 12058. And the second time by for Baylog is a 12.186. His first lap a little better at a 12.130. Next 2 Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers from Franklin, Indiana, the Logan Contractor Supply, Ted's Body Shop, Team Excavating, PSM Enterprises, number 18. That is Emerson Axum, as Zach Hampton has a problem, comes to a stop at the end of the back straightaway. Joining Emerson Axum in this pairing of Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers from Lonsdale, Minnesota, in the Brody Racing Engines, CRP Motorsports, Angler Machine and Tool, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 33, Scott Brody. Emerson Axum in 18, Scott Brody in the number 33. David Gravel fastest so far in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, 11.896 seconds. Carson Macedo, the only other driver into the 11s with an 11.969. Zach Hampton currently third, Logan Shewhart fourth, and Connor Morrell rounding out the top 5. We have qualified 11 of the 25 drivers, make that 12 of the 25 drivers signed in for action here this evening in the Big-O Showdown. Green flag waving for Emerson Axum. All-star winner at Eldora Speedway this season. Best World of Outlaws finished third at Lawton, Oklahoma. Scott Brody, 23rd here last year in feature action. Lap 1 for Axum, 9th quick, 12.150, 1.2150. Brody's opening lap time at a 12.506, 1.2506. Second time around for Emerson Axum is a 12.242. First lap better at 12.150. Scott Brody's second lap quicker at a 12.462, 1.2462. Leading the next pair onto the speedway, making his World of Outlaws debut from Watertown, South Dakota, the Soil Works, Woody's Manufacturing, Lone Labs and Kennels, Our Organic Farms, number 18T, Tyler Ravenberg. And joining him, World of Outlaws leading rookie contender from Columbia, Missouri, the SNS Nationwide CSC Group LRI Eagle Stop Missouri Games Impact Signs Abbott Telecom, number 23, Garrett Williamson. Tyler Ravenberg in 18T, Garrett Williamson in the number 23. Ravenberg's opening lap at 12.789, 1.2789. Garrett Williamson goes 12.383, 1.2383. Williamson finished 8th here last year in feature action. Ravenberg's second lap 12.827, first lap quicker at 12.789. Second time by for Garrett Williamson, better, still 11th in the order at a 12.352, 1.2352. Next two out for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying from St. Cloud, Minnesota, the Trobex Bus Service Auto Value Parts Stores, GT Transport, Johnson Jones Group Digital Marketing, number 91, Reed Alex. And from Fargo, North Dakota, the shop Houstons.com, Houston Speedway, Billionauto.com, Octane Inc., Prosper Real Estate Investments, number 15 of Donny Schatz. Reed Alex in 91, Donny Schatz in the number 15. Schatz, a fourth place finisher last year, third here 2 years ago. Opening lap for Reed Alex will be a 13.156, 1.3156. Donny Schatz on lap 1. 10th quick at a 12.233, 1.2233. Second lap time for Reed Alex. Better at a 12.934, 1.2934. Donny Schatz on lap number 2 is a 12.362. First lap better at 12.233. From Worcester, Ohio, in the NOS Energy Drink, West Tennessee Expediting Frozen Farmer Maximum Oil, number 17, it's Sheldon Hodenshield. And along with him, the World of Outlaws rookie out of Leduc, Alberta, Canada, the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages, Direct Nelson Brothers Construction, Pack Rat Dumpsters, number 99, Skylar G. Sheldon Hodenshield in 17, Skylar G in the 99. Sheldon, the feature winner here in last year's Big-O Showdown. Skylar G making his debut at this racetrack this evening. Lap number 1 in the books for Sheldon Hodenshield. It is 7th quick at a 12.125, 1.2125. First time by for Skylar G is a 12.526, 1.2526. Sheldon's second lap time is a 12.140. First lap quicker at 12.125. And the second time by for Skylar G is a 12.645. His first lap better at 12.526 seconds. From Sanborn, Minnesota, in the Tromp Farms, Joe Pigeon Trucking Creek area, Anderson Farms Golden Harvest Engine, number 24T, Christopher Trom. And along with him from Sykeston, Missouri, in the TK Concrete Maxim Trucking, Logan Contractor Supply, Zip Bond, Smoker's Choice Cigar Bar, Inland Rigging, number 55, Hunter Schurenberg. Christopher Trom, 24T, Hunter Schurenberg in 55. Trom, 18th last year in his only previous World of Outlaws start at Ogilvie. First time by for Christopher Trom, 12.396, 1.2396. Lap 1 for Schurenberg, 11th quick at a 12.210, 1.2210. Second time around for Trom, faster at a 12.355, 1.2355. Schurenberg's second lap is better as well at a 12.205, 1.2205. Leading the next two Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers trackside from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, the Proceed Ekman Dental Arts, JW Repair, Phil Thompson Associates, AgServe, G5, Gage, Polk, Quebec. And a rookie contender in 2025 from Lemoore, California, aboard the 2C Racing Outlaw Wings, Durst Wedge, High Performance Carts, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 2C, Cole Macedo. Gage Polkerbeck in G5, 21st here last year. First time by for Polkerbeck, 12.266, 1.2.266. First time by for Macedo, 12.398, 1.2.398. Polkerbeck on lap 2, 12.317. First lap better at 12.266. Cole Macedo second lap, 12.455. He'll stand on that first lap of 12.398. And the final Honest Abe Roofing qualifier to make his way on to the Speedway. From Benton, Arkansas, the J.B. Henderson Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, Miller Bonded, MPV Logistics, number 45X, Landon Crawley. Landon Crawley in car number 45X. Crawley finished 15th here last year with the World of Outlaws. He's raced with the greatest show on dirt 22 times this season. His best finish, a 10th place run in Peevely, Missouri. Lap 1 for Landon Crawley, 9th quick at a 12.137, 1.2.137. 29 starts overall this year for Crawley. Best finish 3rd at the Houston Speedway. Second lap time is a 12.146. First lap better at 12.137. That concludes Honest Abe Roofing qualifying for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Your Simpson Quick Time Award winner this evening in car number 2, David Gravel at 11.896 seconds. Carson Macedo second quick, 11.969. Zach Hampton third at a 12.058. Logan Shewhart fourth, and Connor Morrell rounds out the top 5. Buddy Kofoid clocks in sixth quickest. Sheldon Hodenshield seventh. Bill Baylog eighth. Landon Crawley ninth, and Kerry Madsen rounding out the top 10. So we clear the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Drivers and crews back to the pit area. Next on the program will be the practice sessions for the Renegade High Roller Sprint Car Series. And Chris Stepman will bring you all the action here this evening.
John, thank you very much. Pertec, High Roller Renegade Wing Sprint Car Series drivers rolling onto the front straightaway here at the Ogilvie Raceway. 30 competitors, great field in the High Rollers tonight. They'll get a couple hot lap sessions. Of course, they will run 3 qualifying heat races, a B main, and a main event throughout the program tonight. Micro sprints on the program tonight as well. 1 heat and a main event for the micros. We'll let you know who these drivers are as they roll onto the racetrack. First driver you see over in turn number 2, that red number 1 car, that will be Chris Lewis behind the wheel of the 1. Driver out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota in that red and gold number 1. Sits on the bottom there of turn number 2. Other cars making their way onto the racetrack. You'll see the 7 car. That is the red, white, and gold 7 car. That'll be Keegan Koss. Keegan out of Menominee, Wisconsin in that 7. Other cars making their way onto the speedway. Drivers over in turns 1 and 2. You'll see the 42 car, 42X tonight. That's Brett Peterson. Brett in the red, white, and blue number 42X. Brett's out of Amory, Wisconsin. Also on the racetrack, you will find the C4 car. That'll be Carl Wade. Carl in that white number C4. Carl's out of Dexter, Minnesota. He sits over in turn number 2 as well. Other cars making their way onto the racetrack. The 30 car, driver out of St. Peter, Minnesota. That blue and white 30 machine, that'll be Matt Johnson. Matt parked up on the top of turn number 1 in the 30 car. Driver right behind him, the white and blue 73 machine. Sitting on the bottom of the front straightaway, that 73 is LeSueur, Minnesota's Sid Denzer. Sid Denzer in the 73. Also on the front straightaway, the 46H car. You'll see him rolling down the front stretch here in just a minute. That is Grand Rapids, Minnesota's Kenny Roan. Ken Roan in the 46. Also being pushed off down the front straightaway, that silver 95 car. He'll roll into turn number 1. That's Faribault, Minnesota's John Valancourt. John Valancourt in the 95. Also on the front stretch here, the black and gold 59 machine. He'll work down the front straightaway in just a moment. Parked underneath the flag stand. That is Jamie Reberg. Jamie Reberg out of St. Stephen's, Minnesota in the 59. Other cars on the racetrack, that maroon and white 2J car. That's Zimmerman, Minnesota's John Lowe. John Lowe in the 2J. Other cars being pushed off here down the front straightaway, the 25, the white and black 25. Working down the front stretch, you will find Garrett Tatnell. Garrett Tatnell behind the wheel of the 25. Of course, his dad, Brooke, racing tonight as well. And the final couple cars working their way down the front straightaway, you'll find the 12, the white and gold number 12. Jason Flores. Jason not too far down the road in Stacy, Minnesota in the 12. Last two cars being pushed down the front straightaway, the 3 car. He'll work down the front straightaway. That's Jack Lobin. Jack in the black and white number 3. He's out of Centerville, Minnesota. And the final driver on the front straightaway, the black number 4. That's Cottage Grove, Minnesota's Mitch Hagan. Mitch Hagan in the 4. Looks like group number 1 for the Pertec Renegade High Roller Wing Sprint Cars getting ready to go. Hot lap session at number 1. Hot lap session number 1 underway here for the Pertec Renegade High Rollers. So he said fantastic field, 30 cars in attendance here on this Friday night of the Ogilvie Raceway as they get up to speed. Couple quick laps around the racetrack here. Hot lap session number 1 for the Renegades. Checkered flag coming out high above the Ogilvie Raceway here. Hot lap session number 1 for the Pertec High Rollers. Matt Johnson in that 30 car. He'll be your fastest driver so far with a 14.102 for Matt Johnson in the 30. Jack Lobin 14.491, Garrett Tatnell 14.515, John Valancourt and Mike Stein will be the top 5 in the hot lap session here for the High Rollers tonight. One more hot lap session to come here for the Pertec High Rollers. We'll get the second hot lap session group pushed out onto the front straightaway, let you know who each and every one of those drivers are. Drivers that come rolling out of the pit area, that 13A car, that's East Bethel, Minnesota's Ryan Annenson. Ryan in that red and white 13A will roll down to the front straightaway. Other cars working their way down the front straightaway, you'll find the 56 car. He'll work into turn number 1. That's St. Peter, Minnesota's Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson in that red 56. Other cars on the racetrack, the 19B car, that's Jack Berger. Jack Berger, he'll work his way into turn number 1. Jack out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, of course, in that 19B. Other cars on the front straightaway, the 59. Working through turns number 1 and 2. That's Cole Demko. Cole Demko in the 59D car. He's out of Coon Rapids, Minnesota in that 59D. Catch up with the rest of the cars as they work down around the racetrack. Next driver you'll see will be the 05 car. Brandon Allen. Brandon, of course, a longtime sprint car competitor out of St. Peter, Minnesota in the red and white 05. He's on the bottom of turn number 2. Other cars on the racetrack, you'll find the 97. 97, that's Carl Brunsvold. Carl out of Stanley, Wisconsin on the bottom of turns 1 and 2 in that black number 97. Also on the racetrack, the 50 car, that orange 50. He's out of New Richmond, Wisconsin. That's Chase Vbrock. Chase Vbrock behind the wheel of the 50. Check to see who else has made their way onto the racetrack. 63 car here on the front straightaway. That'll be Todd Hansen. Todd's out of Shoreview, Minnesota in that black, white, and red 63. A couple other cars here down the front straightaway. The 4S car. He'll work into turns 1 and 2 here in just a moment. That's Jeremy Snow. Jeremy will do double duty here tonight. He's out of Princeton, Minnesota, in that black and blue 4S right behind the flag stand. Also on the front straightaway, you'll find the 22. That's Justin Allen in that blue and yellow 22. He's out of Gaylord, Minnesota. Other cars on the racetrack will set these for you. Mitch Hagen out there in the black and pink number 4. Mitch out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota. He sits on the bottom of turn number 1. Looks like Austin Phillips has made his way out. Austin out of Osceola, Wisconsin in that 17. And the 609 being pushed over in turn number 2. That's Linwood, Minnesota's Casey Lang. Casey Lang in the black and white 609. So hot lap session number 2 being pushed. Gets set to fire them off. Matt Johnson, fastest in the opening hot lap session, 14:102. 1:41:02, the time to beat here in hot lap session number 1. Of course, the Pertec Renegade High Rollers will not qualify. They will run 3 heat races. They'll use passing points in those heat races to determine their feature lineup. Top 20 in overall passing points transfer directly into the main event. The remaining 10 will run a B main. Top 4 in that will also transfer into the feature tonight. Looks like we just about got everybody pushed. Big thank you to GT Transport, by the way. GT, of course, Terry and everybody with GT Transport supplying the push trucks here tonight. So thank you to Terry and everybody with GT. All right, here we go, winding them up. Hot lap session number 2, ready to come to green for the Pertec Renegade High Roller Wing Sprint cars. Hot lap session number 2, working our way down the front straightaway. Checkered flags coming out. Second final hot lap session for the Renegade High Rollers. Going to roll to the checkered. Still Matt Johnson. Nobody faster than that 30 car in the opening hot lap session, 14:102. Brandon Allen second on the speed charts in that red and white 05. Todd Hansen third, Jack Loban fourth, and Garrett Tatnell rounding out the top 5 in hot lap speeds here for the Renegade High Rollers. Hot lap sessions complete for the Renegade High Roller sprint cars. So, hot lap sessions wrapped up here.
This November, dirt racing's most celebrated stars will shine. The World of Outlaws World Finals. It's 4 huge days of racing and entertainment. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte as the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Models, and Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds collide. The World of Outlaws World Finals, November 5th through the 8th at the Dirt Track in Charlotte. Be there.
I think it's a very big deal that we have AMCUS, providing us with the AMCUS cutting tools throughout our series and World Racing Group. It's good that we're able to get a product in that's reliable, and it does the job. If for some reason we had to cut a car apart or get access to a driver or a patient, we know that this tool here is definitely the one that we're going to work the best, get us in there quickly.
Your answer to the summer heat is let it rain. We're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
There's a moment behind the wheel of what I've built where power overrides gravity, and I hit that zero moment. Zero doubts, zero fear, zero competition. No rule or mold I can't break. And limits? Absolutely zero. And there's a NOS zero sugar to get me there.
This copyrighted DIRTVision broadcast may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or distributed in any form without World Racing Group's written consent. Copyright infringement is a federal crime.
Sold out grandstands at Ogilvie Raceway for the Big-O Showdown with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Moments away from getting things underway officially here in the third visit for the greatest show on dirt at this magnificent facility. And as the drivers in the heat races now begin to assemble in the pit area, lineups have been posted. We are just about set to officially kick things off here this evening, and so we'll send it down to Connor Wade in Victory Lane.
Thank you, John, and a big welcome to this sold-out crowd spending their Friday night with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series for their annual stop here at Ogilvie Raceway. Great to be back and a great night of action on tap. 3 heat races coming up next on the program, but let's officially get the night underway. We asked everybody in this huge crowd to please rise if you're able, and gentlemen in roof cover. At this time, please welcome Chris Gould from Racing with Jesus Ministries to offer tonight's invocation.
Thank you, Connor. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the opportunity to come to a dirt track. Lord Jesus, you tell us in your word in John 16:33 that you have come so we can have peace. And we thank you that through you that we can have peace even amidst this crazy world. Father, we pray for tonight. We pray for a safe night of racing. We ask that you protect our drivers, our officials, our crew, our safety workers, and our fans. We lift this night to you. We pray in your name, in the name of your Son. Amen.
And here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner this evening, Bryn McCabe.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is a big night at Ogilvie. New faces and new places, and they're all ready to get on the racetrack. Heat races coming up next with the greatest show on dirt.
Do you